All right, you guys, today we are going to be talking about all of the mistakes that I have made as a homeschool mom. So I thought that this would be a good video because sometimes as moms we're really hard on ourselves. And I recently started going to therapy, and the intake lady mentioned to me that it seems like I get the idea of perfect mom and a good mom mixed up. And so if I'm, doing that, then how many other moms are doing that? And so I thought I would talk about my mistakes as a homeschool mom, so then you all know that none of us are perfect, and to give yourself a little bit more grace. So I have, I believe 6 mistakes that I have made that I hope to do better on in the future. My first one is not playing with my kids enough, you guys. I am very type A. I love to have my schedule and my plan. I do approach homeschooling a little bit more flexible. However, when the day starts, I'm like, okay, I gotta make breakfast for everyone. I wanna read my Bible. We gotta homeschool. We gotta clean up. I've gotta make dinner. And it just becomes a checklist for our day. And a lot of the times, playing with my kids is not necessarily always on that checklist. And I know it might not be a huge deal to some, but I do feel like when you invest that time with your children and you're playing with them and you're building those bonds, it helps you to build those relationships that are longer lasting rather than just watching them play from the side while you're doing dishes and things like that. So my goal going forward is to really sit down and invest that time and play with them more. Now that doesn't mean that I never play with them. We do play randomly throughout the week, but I would like it to be more consistent instead of okay, if I get my huge laundry list of everything done, then we'll play a game. Instead, I would like to start with playing a game and then start working on the checklist. My second mistake is forgetting how old they are. Sometimes I feel like when you're with your kids so much throughout the day and they do have those mature qualities, it's sometimes very easy to forget how old they are because you start to just picture like this little mini adult or this child stepping into becoming an adult. And sometimes it's really hard to forget, like, no, even though I have a really mature 6-year-old, they're still 6 and they're still going to make mistakes and they're still going to have grumpy moments and things like that. So just trying to remember how old they are when you approach them and try to seek their heart is something that I need to do better on. I'm getting there, but it's not always perfect. Mistake number 3, not giving myself enough downtime. My husband is amazing at taking the kids and giving me time to rest, but I am not always amazing at saying, hey, I need some time to rest, and going and actually resting. A lot of the times when I go to rest, my rest involves planning things for this channel or researching curriculums if there's a curriculum that we're looking to change, or researching reading books and making sure that they're good quality and have good content in them that I want my kids to be reading. And so it's like this never-ending cycle of like work, 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 instead of giving myself downtime and actually using that as downtime. And I think that this is an area where all moms, unless you're like one of those really magical moms that has mastered this, it's really hard for us moms to give ourselves grace and to not carry the burdens of the house and homeschooling, and then as well as how everyone is acting and treating each other and what they're doing. And we tend to just take on too much and we don't give ourselves enough grace. Let me know down below in the comments if I'm not alone and you need to work on giving yourself grace too, because I feel like this is something that all of us really need to hear and to absorb and to put into practice, instead of having that mom guilt that just seems to follow us no matter where we go, no matter what happens. When one of my kids, I mentioned it in our March update, how they have an autoimmune disorder and they had a flare-up, and then I'm already thinking of all the things that I did that probably caused the flare-up, and it wasn't anything that I did. but I internalize it as what can I do better to help their flare up? When the truth is there might be nothing that I could have done. It was just simply God's will, and I need to give that to Him and rest in it and just breathe and let it be. Number 5, not incorporating my toddler enough has been one of my biggest regrets of this year particularly. Last year he was still really little. He's 2.5 right now, so I don't feel like there was a whole lot of ways to do things with him last year. And we did incorporate him this year, and we're starting to do it even more now over the last couple of months. But I feel like I could have done a way better job at the beginning of our school year. Granted, this is where I need grace because we had a lot going on in the beginning of the year. If you guys have been following us for a while, I'm not going to get into it, so don't ugly cry. But, you know, I just feel like I've done so much with my older kids, and I don't really feel like I've sat down enough with him to read to him and do little crafts with him, and to just, you know, he's done a lot of exploring. He goes outside constantly in the backyard, and he does all of these different things around the house, but I just don't feel like I've had a lot of one-on-one time with him, and going forward next year, I'm definitely planning on making more one-on-one time with him because I feel like I've let him down a little bit, and I don't like that. It's hard, you guys. It is so hard when you're homeschooling with a toddler around because especially when you have more than one child, and then it's just, you know, very go, 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 and you get so focused on teaching the foundation subjects that sometimes your toddler gets pushed off to the side, and it's just this odd mix that you have to do, this like juggling act of, okay, I spend time with you, and then I teach you math, and then we do language arts with you, and then we're teaching you reading, and you're just constantly like juggling different balls in the air. And so I have had my kids play with him, but next year I'm going to have them actually sit down because now they're both reading, so I'm going to have them read books to him while I'm working with one of them, and then do more of like an, you know, alternate who is with the toddler and just incorporate him more into our homeschool. All right, number 6, you guys, I am so bad at this one. One of my last regrets is not doing enough crafts with the kids. It kind of hurts my heart a little when I see people posting all these beautiful pictures of like the crafts that their kids made, and I'm like, we haven't done a lot of crafts like at all. I had a good amount planned last year. I had like nothing planned this year. I think we've maybe done one that I personally planned. The kids still make things on their own, and thank God for knowledge crates because they get a whole bunch of crafts with those. But as far as the things that I plan, I don't feel like I've done a great job, which is kind of odd because I do consider myself a crafty person, but I just don't plan children's crafts very well. I don't know what the block is. Is anybody else like that? So yeah, I'm hoping to do a better job of planning crafts next year just so they enjoy it so much. And I think it just adds that special kind of fun to your homeschool and just to your day. And the kids just, they light up when they're creating things. And so that's it. Those are all of my regrets. Let me know down below if any of these resonate with you, maybe what some of your regrets are. I would love to hear them and know that I am not alone in this whole, oh, I regret doing that thing. So if you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and I'll see you again later. Bye.